Jakarta, the bustling capital of Indonesia and home to over 10 million residents, is facing an existential threat. Overcrowded, chronically flooded, and quite literally sinking beneath the waves due to excessive groundwater extraction. Jakarta represents both the promise and peril of urbanization gone unchecked. But just 700 miles away, in the heart of Borneo's rainforest, a new city is rising, one that aims to redefine the future of Indonesian governance and urban living. It's called Nusantara. Touted as a sustainable, high-tech capital that harmonizes with nature, Nusantara is set to be Southeast Asia's most ambitious infrastructure project. But can it truly deliver on its lofty goals? With a projected cost of $33 billion, Nusantara is not just a new city, it's a new beginning. It's being built on a site 4 times the size of Jakarta and over 40 times larger than Manhattan. Yet it will be home to fewer than 2 million people. Why such a massive footprint? Because the design prioritizes balance with nature. Approximately 65% of the city's footprint will be dedicated to green space, urban forests, community gardens, and biodiversity corridors. Another 10% is allocated for agriculture, which leaves only 25% of the area for buildings and roads. Indonesia is determined to become carbon neutral by 2060, and Nusantara is a central pillar of that plan. The city will run entirely on renewable energy and feature a smart public transportation system designed to make private car ownership largely unnecessary. Walking, cycling, and mass transit will account for at least 80% of all trips, with a 10-minute city principle ensuring that every essential schools, groceries, healthcare is within a short walk from home. The decision to relocate Indonesia's capital didn't happen overnight. Jakarta, located on the northern coast of Java, has long struggled with environmental degradation and infrastructural decay. 13 rivers run through the city, contributing to severe flooding. But the more pressing issue is subsidence land sinking due to overpumping of underground aquifers. Some areas of Jakarta are sinking as much as 11 inches per year. Currently, 40% of the city lies below sea level. Overpopulation only worsens the problem. Designed to support just a fraction of its current population, Jakarta has seen explosive growth since independence. Today, traffic congestion, pollution, and overburdened infrastructure have made it one of the world's most unlivable megacities. Something had to change, and President Joko Widodo, known affectionately as Jokowi, made that change his legacy. The new capital is being built in East Kalimantan, a province on the Indonesian portion of Borneo. This region offers several advantages: geographic centrality, relative protection from natural disasters like earthquakes and tsunamis. Java Island currently accounts for over 60% of Indonesia's GDP, creating a lopsided national economy. Building Nusantara in Borneo could help decentralize power and encourage investment in underdeveloped regions. The location also offers access to vast natural resources, timber, minerals, and water, as well as unique biodiversity that the government pledges to preserve. While these are strengths, they also introduce challenges, especially regarding environmental preservation and indigenous land rights. Nusantara's urban design was awarded to Indonesian firm Urban Plus, which beat out over 300 proposals from around the world. Their concept is a masterclass in biophilic design where nature and urban development coexist. Elevated pedestrian walkways will connect key parts of the city, minimizing ecological disruption and enabling rainwater runoff in hilly terrain. Many structures, including housing and government buildings, will be built on stilts, following traditional Indonesian architecture adapted for modern needs. At the heart of the city stands the presidential palace, designed in the shape of Garuda, the mythical bird and Indonesia's national emblem. This structure, with a wingspan of 177 meters, is both symbolic and practical a cultural anchor for the new capital. The vice presidential palace follows a more modern but equally rooted design inspired by traditional longhouses of indigenous Bornean tribes. The city's layout reflects Indonesia's identity as an archipelago interconnected but distinct, natural yet technological. Construction is being rolled out in 5 major phases. Phase 1 is focused on essential infrastructure, roads, drainage systems, electricity, water supply, and the core governmental zone, which includes the Garuda Palace and ministerial offices. The government aims to complete this first phase by August 17, 2025, Indonesian Independence Day, when the city will be officially inaugurated. Phase 2, expected to run until 2029, involves mixed-use development, including housing, educational institutions, and commercial centers. The target is to have at least 1.2 million people relocated by the end of this phase. Phase 3 will see the integration of a smart mass transit system and the expansion of local businesses. Phases 4 and 5 will continue developing education, health services, and industrial areas, culminating in a population of 1.9 million by the year 2045, coinciding with the 100th anniversary of Indonesian independence. But the road to building Nusantara is far from smooth. The site is plagued by thousands of abandoned mining pits, about 2,400 in total left behind by years of unregulated extraction. These pose both environmental and safety risks, and although mining companies are legally obligated to rehabilitate the land, the cost is increasingly falling on the government. Funding is another concern. Only 20% of the total budget is coming from public funds. The rest is expected to come from private and international investors. However, attracting these investors has proven difficult. In 2022, a major Japanese consortium pulled out over disagreements in contract terms. While Indonesia has received over 300 letters of intent from interested parties, few have translated into binding commitments. The social implications are also significant. Advocacy groups estimate that over 20,000 indigenous people could be displaced by the development. Critics accuse the government of prioritizing speed over inclusion, and some warn of cultural erasure and long-term social disruption if indigenous communities are not meaningfully integrated into the project. And then there's the elephant in the room, coal. While Nusantara is intended to be powered by clean energy, the construction process relies heavily on coal-fired power. Indonesia currently gets only 19% of its energy from renewables, raising serious doubts about whether the city can meet its environmental commitments without major national energy reform. Despite its hurdles, Nusantara represents something larger than just bricks and concrete. It symbolizes a nation stepping into a new chapter. It's about more than escaping the problems of Jakarta. It's about embracing an ideal that cities can be greener, more inclusive, and more technologically advanced without sacrificing heritage. If Indonesia can pull this off, Nusantara could serve as a global model, a flagship project for sustainable urban planning in developing nations. It could show that large-scale relocation projects, when handled thoughtfully, can solve real problems and promote long-term equity. But that outcome hinges on execution. Will Nusantara be the city of tomorrow or a cautionary tale of overambition? Nusantara is a bold idea born of necessity, shaped by vision, and mired in complexity. It's a solution to Jakarta's sinking crisis, but also an experiment in green urbanism and decentralized governance. Whether it thrives or stumbles will depend on how well it balances innovation with inclusivity, ambition with accountability. So, what do you think? Can Indonesia turn this futuristic city in the jungle into a global benchmark? Or is it a billion-dollar gamble that could fall short of its dreams? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video informative, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Megaproject deep dives.